I'm going to give you a full walkthrough of how to launch ads for your clothing brand for Facebook ads in 2026. This is going to be the updated strategy, the same strategies that big brands like this that are doing close to $30 million a year are using. I'm going to break down everything inside of this video. And this is the most up-to-date Facebook strategy out there currently for the highest return on ad spend. So if you're spending the dollar, you're making back as much as possible. I would use this strategy if you're not. And if you haven't tried it and you try it after this video, you're going to thank me. Now, this is the same ad strategy that tons of clothing brands that are working with us that are doing 50, 100, 200, like I said, all the way up to $30 million a year are using and being super profitable with. If you want us to run your ads and work with you one-on-one, you can apply for that link down in the description. But other than that, let's dive straight into this ad strategy right now. So first and foremost, we want to talk about the brand new updates with Facebook. They came out with a thing called Andromeda. Okay, so it's their AI and how they go out and they target people and give you people that are actually motivated and wanting to buy and purchase and spend money on your website. Now, along with this new update with Andromeda, like I said, this is going to be the most updated ad strategy out currently in 2026. They put out a feature that helps this AI or helps this model, the Pixel, really be able to target better. And how you do that is with rapid consolidation. And that's fancy words for saying basically putting things into 1, 2, 3 campaigns rather than having what used to be 10, 20, 30 campaigns. So it's less about horizontal scaling and now it's more about vertical scaling, if you're following along with me. So first and foremost, in this video, I'm going to be showing you 2 campaigns that you set up. First is for testing your campaigns. You're going to need a campaign for just testing. That's going out there, testing, making sure you have, creatives that are actually working. And then you need to sell. This is the scaling campaign. This is what's getting you the majority of the money. And we're going to show you how much you spend on each and then break it down. So let's first build out the testing campaign. For this, I'm just going to call it testing campaign. Okay. It's going to be an auction buying type campaign sales. You can turn off catalog if you want to, or you can mess around and play with it. For this, I'm going to spend 20 bucks a day on this campaign. And we're going to leave, you can leave this blank if you don't have any targeting for this. It's perfectly fine. So we're going to go to next here. For this, I'm going to name it Advantage Plus. Okay, we want to, like I said, leverage the Andromeda update, leverage all the new things and new parameters that they're tracking. Make sure you connect your website and your pixel, put maximize number of conversions. So number of conversions, not value here, maximize number of conversions. The data set, make sure you connect your data set, and the pixel conversion event is going to be purchase here. From here, we want to set this to the next day at 12 p.m. The reason why we do 12 p.m. again, I love to make sure that it's getting a really fresh start. Typically people that are up 2, 3, 4 a.m. aren't high quality buyers. So we want to make sure those first few hundred impressions are very high quality. Those first few hundred impressions really matter in the Andromeda update. So very important to make sure it starts at 12 p.m. the following day. Now for audience, I'll leave this as broad as humanly possible. And placements, this is where I'm going to go in, show more settings here. If it looks a little bit different, just find your way around. Facebook changes this from time to time. We're going to go in and unselect all the platforms besides Facebook and Instagram. Okay, those are the main 2 that people are actually going to buy. And we want to make sure we're unchecking this allow limited spending. Again, they change this. So if it looks a little bit different, perfectly fine, but that'll allow limited spend to excluded placements is basically going to allow them to spend where you told them not to spend anyway. So you want to make sure you turn that off. And then from there, turn off everything besides feeds and stories. And on feeds, you can also go in and unselect business, notification, right columns, and explore. I personally prefer all those, and I only do these 4 right here and these 4 here. So in total, I target 8 placements, and these are the 8 placements that I've seen have, again, the highest return on ad spend. I'm gonna be showing you the campaign that gives you the highest return on the ad spend, so I'm gonna be setting up how I would for all the clients that we work with. So for this one, just name it ad number 1, however you name your creatives, perfectly fine. Facebook page is connected, Instagram page is connected. I would highly recommend. Okay, uncheck multi-advertising ads. And then from here, you can either run it as a create ad or an existing ad, depending on if you're wanting to get extra Instagram followers or not. If you don't really care about it and you don't want those posts on your Instagram, go for a create ad. If you want followers on your Instagram and you want people engaging with your Instagram as well, then go for existing post. For this example, I'm just gonna use existing post because it's simple, and I'm gonna run this little loafer right here. So I'm just gonna select this. Again, we're not gonna talk too much on creatives. if you want to work with us one-on-one, where we help you out with the creatives and understanding what works, what doesn't, you can apply for that. Like I said, link down in the description. But choose your creative, and then you want to make sure you turn off all the Advantage Plus placements. These are terrible. I've tested each and every one, and most times they just either make it look very unauthentic or AI, and it's just not very it's not tested and very refined yet. So I'll turn off all those. The call to action button, as always, is going to be shop now. Okay. And you want to run this straight to the product page of the product that you're running. Okay. So put the product page here. So boom, we have the product page right there. And like I said, we're running this as shop now. Okay. From here, I would go through, this is a testing campaign. I would go through and I would put 3 different creatives for this product right here. So if I wanted to do this shoe, for instance, and I had another creative that looked similar to this shoe, let me give you an example. So as you can see, it's the exact same shoe, but it's just a different creative. Okay. So you want to put in the exact same product, right? But just different angles of the actual shot. And then I would go here and you can name it, you know, loafers or whatever, just to separate from the Advantage of the campaign side. And then from here, when you want to do another product, again, this is a testing campaign. This can handle, you know, 3, 4 different ad sets with 3 or 4 different angles for the product on each ad set. So we're going to quickly duplicate. And this is where I would change the product. Okay, so let's say I was going to do a different product. Let's go in and select a completely different product here. Let's say we were going to go with this shoe right here. Right, so the Angelo shoe, right? I would name this campaign the Angelo shoe just to keep myself super organized right here. And then I would put in, again, I would change and only put different angles of the Angelo shoe. So again, I'd go in and I'd change this post to another post of a different angle of the same product. And again, I would recommend testing around 2 to 3 products in the same testing campaign at once, and you'll be able to understand where, you know, the ad spend's going and, you know, just how, which products are picking up and which products are not. So then we can publish this. Again, we do all the way to 2 to 3 ad sets with pretty much unlimited different pictures to see which pictures are performing the best with Facebook. Now, going into the scaling campaign, this heavily implies on the testing campaign and where you bring over from the scaling campaign. Okay. Again, the testing campaign's job, you're going to see one product getting more spend than the other. And then when you click into that product, you're going to see one of those creatives getting one more spend than the other. This is letting the Andromeda update and letting Facebook show the ads that it thinks is going to work. And it's really, really, really good now. Okay. Like I said, with the new Andromeda update, the AI is really able to target which product, which creative is bound to get you the most ROI. Once we see one of these ads performing better, so let's say this ad 1 copy is performing really well, it's getting all the spend and it has a good return on ad spend, we're going to then click on this ad right here, click on duplicate, and we'll go into new campaign and we'll call this the scaling campaign. Right. And then from here, we'll name it the same, Advantage Plus, and we'll go ahead and duplicate. And that's going to duplicate itself into a brand new campaign with just that winning ad and that winning ad alone. And you want to set it up the exact same way that you set up the testing campaign. The only difference between the testing campaign and the scaling campaign, the testing campaign is just going to be where you test everything. It's the sandbox. The scaling campaign, you're going to put every single winning ad into this campaign. Okay. And that means every single product. You don't need to separate it by different ad sets. You're just going to have one ad set, and every single different ad in that may be from different products that won in their testing campaign. Right. So let's say another couple of days goes by and this loafer, which once you duplicate it in the scaling campaign, you turn it off. All right. So once we turn this off, this one started getting more spin and this one became a winner. I'm then going to grab it the same way, duplicate, turn off the music rules into existing campaign. And I'm going to type in that same scaling campaign that we just had and put it in that same ad set, and then I'll duplicate. All right. So you guys will see, as you see a product win in the testing campaign, you move it over to the scaling campaign. Again, the science behind this is you'll have one campaign that's rapidly consolidated, right? Very aggressively consolidated. And when you're wanting to scale this, it's as simple as clicking on the budget and turning it up. All right. So you go in, turn up the budget. You don't have to worry about, duplicating the scaling campaign or any of that stuff. If I want to spend more money, I put $60. right? One of these ads in the scaling of campaign is going to take majority of the spend, especially when you're spending small budgets. But as I get into $100 a day or $200 a day, you're going to start to see all of these are going to get their own spin. And because since they're all winners, they're all able to target the right kind of people who are going to buy. Instead of spreading all that information or that customer data out into multiple campaigns, you bring it all into one campaign. So it's targeting the same exact person and it has a list of winning ads to be able to target with. And that's as simple as it is, right? When you want to test new things, you go over here, you duplicate, put another ad set, put in different creatives. Once you see one of those work, duplicate it, put it in the scaling campaign. If you want to scale, you just turn up the ad budget. Facebook has made it super simple nowadays to be able to scale and run ads and be able to be more profitable with high ROI with the new Andromeda update. Again, if you want our one-on-one help on focusing on what creatives are converting, or if you want more one-on-one help with more scaling campaigns and more scaling strategies, you can apply to work with us one-on-one, link down in the description. That's all I got for you in this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.